Hey, William.
Eurovision 2018 is over. We kiss goodbye to Lisbon, and we look forward to the sunny heat of the Middle East, to Israel. And there are apparently, reportedly, allegedly 4 cities in contention to host. Shall we talk about it? Let's do this!
Well, you know, you called it the Middle East. Many call it Europe.
Honey, they are building bridges. This is a cultural melange. Before we talk about the 4 cities, we should just say both of us have been to Israel.
Yeah.
The food is amazing. The food is so good.
What isn't amazing about Israel?
Honey, give me
Tell
some hummus, give me some falafel, give me some grilled meat.
I'm good to go.
It's so healthy, and I feel like there's a lot of like locally sourced food. So
the best lemonade on the planet.
Oh, honey, some of the best nightlife in the region.
Undisputed.
Under the sun. They call it the promised land for a reason. It promises a lot and it delivers. And I just want to say a general point. A lot of people say, oh, I'm scared to go to Israel. Oh, I'm fearful. Honestly, they have such a...
We've been multiple times.
Multiple times. I've been twice. You've been many times.
Yeah.
There's a security infrastructure. Like, you feel safe. I never felt under threat, uneasy. You should just go with an open mind.
That said, we have to review the 4 cities.
Yes, so let's just say this. At the time of filming this, on Monday, what is today, June the 11th, there have been reports that Benjamin Netanyahu had a private call with his inner circle, and he said, look, we will not interfere. He, of course, had been pushing for Jerusalem, but now he said we will let the EBU and the station decide where is best. Reportedly, allegedly, supposedly. It could just be a stitch up for Jerusalem, as many people think. But the 4 cities that will submit tenders are
Haifa,
Eilat,
Jerusalem,
and Tel Aviv.
Yes, hunty!
Let's actually start in Haifa.
Yes.
Beautiful Baha'i gardens, absolutely stunning.
This is one city I haven't actually been to.
And that excites me. That excites me because many people have been to Tel Aviv, many people have been to Jerusalem, but Haifa, Eurovision's about showcasing all of your country, different parts of your country, so why not let us go to Haifa, a place many people don't know?
Well, I think many people don't know it just because it doesn't have that footprint, and you don't want Eurovision to just descend on a city that doesn't have the supporting infrastructure.
But it does.
How many hotel rooms does Haifa have?
Thousands. Let me tell you what the mayor, what's her name? His name? Yoni Yahav. Yoni says, quote, Haifa has all the means and it meets all conditions for hosting the contest. It's a peaceful city and a symbol of coexistence and is very worthy of hosting the competition. We have Sami Ofer Stadium, which seats how many people?
31,000 people!
Honey, that's a city. That is a city. I think that Haifa could be a beautiful, beautiful host because it's a new part of Israel. Jerusalem has hosted
twice. It's a long
twice.
way from Ben Gurion, You touch down at the airport and it's a 3-hour trek.
But you get to see more of Israel. You get to see more of the country. The fact is, people, when they visit Haifa, will still go visit Jerusalem and still go visit Tel Aviv. They'll make a day trip. You know how organizers always organize day trips for the press outside of the host city?
Israelis are good at doing that.
Yeah, they're going to take you to Jerusalem and Tel Aviv anyways. So, this is a good option. And I think it avoids the controversy associated with Jerusalem. Now, we're not going to dive too deep into this, but of course, its status is disputed internationally and in diplomatic practice. And you know what? You can avoid all that by putting it somewhere else. Jerusalem has hosted twice already. Spread the love.
And those who are championing Jerusalem, the likes of people like Ayub Kara, who's the Minister of Communications, and Miriam Regev, who's the Minister...
She's had a lot. She's had a lot to say.
This is the same woman who said that Israel should boycott the Olympics opening ceremony because it coincided with the Shabbat.
It's a bit much.
It's a bit much. And she is a flag-waving Zionist. So she's going to put Jerusalem forward because it suits her own political ambitions.
Political agenda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And let's not forget as well that Ayub Kara, who is the Minister of Communications and was again arguing for Jerusalem, he's the same person who supported Donald Trump during the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville.
My goodness. And you know what? enter Yoni Yahav, mayor of Haifa. This just skirts around all of that. Do you know what I mean? And that's in its favor. And he was very clever. In his statement to Time Out magazine, he said, "We have a small international airport and our transportation is active during Shabbat." Because, of course, so he's taking a little dig because there were...
Jerusalem shuts down.
Yeah.
Holy days, which is weekly.
Because the Orthodox community is centered in Jerusalem. And there were some MPs from conservative parties who said, Eurovision rehearsals, the jury final, they will interfere with Shabbat. So that was, it's a tense issue. That was a tense issue.
And again, I have to say, Jerusalem, aside from faith-related events, it's always controversial. 2006, Love Without Borders, World Pride in Jerusalem, it resulted in many deaths and the whole place had to come and shut down. And there were like face-to-face attacks with the Orthodox religious people and those who just wanted to party. But why go through that when there's a party city just an hour and a half away? Tel Aviv, honey. That's my vote.
Let's move on
to
Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv, of course, is a party hub. This has some of the best nightlife in the world.
Perched on the Mediterranean coast.
Long history of loving Eurovision, the Avida nightclub, the famous dance troupe. 2 words. Israel
calling,
honey! Rabin Square packed it out.
Tali Eshkoli production.
T-E-P. Tali Eshkoli Productions. This is a party hub. I don't want to say a spiritual hub. It's a hub of culture, a hub of
diversity, of heritage,
of inclusion.
Absolutely.
It's just
celebration.
Technology.
Absolutely.
Technology. Google has offices there. The people who built our app are there. It's a very modern city with a lot going for it.
Solid cafe culture. Lots of boulevard.
But honey, we've got to talk about the arenas. Now, there are 3 options and they're not very big.
What, in Tel Aviv?
Yeah, Bloomfield Stadium, a football stadium, 14,000 capacity. It's currently being renovated though.
14,000?
The renovation will take it to 29,000.
Well, babes.
But it won't be completed until 2019 and they'd have to put a roof on it. And there's not that much time.
Israelis, honey.
They're efficient. Build it and they will come. Isn't that a biblical thing? Yeah. In any case, then there's the Tel Aviv Convention Center, significantly smaller, but they've hosted like 45 to 60 events a year for many years. And then
what's the capacity of that?
So I don't know. I think this is the smallest. It would just be a few thousand.
Oh, so it'll probably be like that Maltese Convention Center for Junior.
Yeah.
No,
or the International Exhibition Center, which was bigger in Kiev. You can combine pavilions, I think. But honey, listen, the final one, Menorah Mivtachim Arena, only 6,000 for concerts. It's a basketball hall. They can do 11,000 for basketball, but just 6,000 for concerts.
Not enough. So we're going back to the Bloomfield.
So it'd be Bloomfield. They've hosted Rihanna and the Black Eyed Peas.
Done! Done! You know what? And before I leave...
umbrella, Ella.
Before I leave, let me take you to Tel Aviv!
Golden boy. He said it first. Tel Aviv, the thing is, the mayor had said initially, we don't want to host. We're not gonna bid. But that was just a political move. I believe there was a re-election campaign. He couldn't upset the hierarchy. And now the line is, Tel Aviv didn't want to bid if Jerusalem was the preferred choice of the government. But now the EBU, they haven't strong-armed Netanyahu, but they've pressured the government in Israel to say this needs to be a free and open tender process, so back off. Again, this could just be for show. This could just be for show. But let's move on before we get to Jerusalem.
But can I just say, Jerusalem is not a bad choice.
No.
However, there are better choices.
They've hosted twice already.
They've hosted twice already, and Tel Aviv would be great because it just harnesses all those values without confronting religion in the face.
Yes, it's a more, it seems in a way more modern and more open. There's less conservatism.
And more Eurovision. Because the closest event you can compare Eurovision to is probably Pride. And look
Guess where it takes place? Tel Aviv!
And look what happened when it took place in Jerusalem. People died!
Yeah, so let's not delve into that too much. In any case, we go on. Look, it is time to serve some Red Sea realness. Eilat!
Oh, I've been there actually.
You've been to
It's
Eilat.
great,
Wow.
yeah.
It's funny, I have to read you this quote from Lonely Planet. Tell me if you agree with this.
Tell me.
Lonely Planet says that Eilat is brash, ugly, and almost inevitably crowded, a place where being scantily clad and sunburned is the rule rather than the exception. 2 words, Euro Club, honey!
No, I'm sorry. Who was that reporter they sent there?
Girl, it's Lonely Planet.
Clearly somebody who was angry. I'm sorry, no. Eilat is Miami Beach. 24/7, good weather. Fabulous. People play... I was going to say people play water sports, but...
Well, they probably do. They probably do in the privacy of their hotel room. And they have everything from hostel to Uber Luxe. Eilat is a resort town. And so resort towns are used to hosting lots of people. However, it's unclear to our Israeli correspondent where the actual venue would be. Like,
it's an easy feel, honey. There's something very relaxed about
but
Eilat.
is there a concert hall?
Honey, there was no Crystal Hall before Eurovision was announced.
Yeah, but Israel would not pull a Baku and spend, $130 million building an arena.
Do not
They wouldn't
underestimate the Israelis. That's all I'm going to say to you.
Oh, I don't underestimate the Israelis, but I'm saying, why would you go to a town or a city that doesn't have an arena? Ultimately, this is a TV show, and what's most important is the arena.
Listen, in Eurovision history, this happens repeatedly. Join Us Copenhagen, that B&W didn't exist.
However,
it's not
they
difficult.
had a good option, pre-existing option. What, is Eilat going to build a sandcastle and we're going to sing inside of it? No.
Honey.
This is not a realistic option. Isn't it 4 hours, 3 hours?
It's far.
It's even
far.
longer
it's
than Haifa.
Way far.
And it's real far south. It's very popular with Israelis for their summer holidays and stuff.
Oh, it's great. It's absolutely
It's great for a beach resort. I don't think it's great for Eurovision. I feel like this...
Okay, so if it had gone to Cyprus, do you think it would have been on some hilltop
Honey,
rock?
Limassol hosted Junior Eurovision and did a great job.
But it would have been a beach affair. That's what I'm saying.
And that would have been fantastic.
Absolutely. So Eilat is in the running.
My issue with Eilat is this. This is evidence that this whole process is window dressing. Because Eilat does not have a serious chance of hosting Eurovision 2019. I'm sorry, it does not. And that makes me think...
I beg to differ.
Girl, if we go to Eilat in 2019, I will buy you an iced coffee.
Oh, is that all I get for putting my 2 cents in this debate?
Yeah.
Listen.
You put in 2 cents, you're getting back 250 pounds. So that's a lot of cents, okay?
Listen,
Are
William.
there 60 cents in a pound?
We're talking shekels now.
99. Yes, we're talking shekels.
But listen, William, I would still put Eilat over Jerusalem. Done. Jerusalem is my least favorite
because
option.
of the controversy surrounding it? Or
No, just because it's not
hosting twice?
Eurovision is not a faith-driven event. I know Robin Gallagher and I went to the church to pray for
There are some secular people who live in Jerusalem.
But it's not a bubble. You need that Eurovision bubble. You need a city that is going to envelop and harness all of that. Jerusalem is going to be like, okay, this is sacred ground. Why am I even standing here?
Yes. Okay, I will say this. We've both been to Jerusalem. Absolutely stunning, beautiful. I'm not religious, but I was taken back.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my God, the dome. Like, the actual, the market in where East Jerusalem is.
The Mount of Olives.
Oh my God, the gold dome. I have a beautiful picture of my father in the 60s in front of the dome. It's my favorite photo ever. It's amazing. It's just, but listen, my point is this. Flare-ups. As we saw when the U.S. Embassy was officially moved to Jerusalem, things can flare up very quickly. It was not
taken lightly.
Yeah, and in a matter of whoosh, it was like a fire, a match being lit. My concern is that during the 2 weeks of Eurovision, another match could be lit, and we don't need that drama. Nobody needs that drama. So And
that drama can be avoided, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
An hour away.
It really can. Tel Aviv right there. Or Haifa. There's something about Haifa. If you read on the Instagram comments on wiwibloggs, there are a lot of mixed opinions. Some Israeli readers of wiwibloggs say this will be great. It's wonderful to spread the Eurovision love to other cities. And then other people say Haifa's not pretty. They're like, Haifa has the Baha'i Gardens and then nothing else. Maybe that's just a personal take on it. I don't know. I just know this. We have arrived at our final option, and probably the favorite, Jerusalem. It's hosted twice already. Is it Pais Arena?
Yeah, I think so. P-A-I-S.
Jerusalem Pie Arena. Not the pie you eat, honey. P-A-I-S. This is a multi-sports complex that can hold 15,654 people. So 16K during concerts. It's a good size.
It's less than...
Haifa.
No. What was the first stadium in Tel Aviv?
Yeah, Bloomfield.
It's
post-renovation, it can hold 31,000.
Pre-renovation, what?
It's like 16,000.
Oh!
So it's still bigger.
So we're matched.
Honey, but I gotta say, the one in Haifa is 31. There's another option. In Jerusalem, forgive me, I had to burp. It happens, honey. In Jerusalem, there's Teddy Stadium, 31,000, shared by 4 football teams. It would also need a roof, but that's a gorgeous venue. Look at that. That's nice. That is nice. We've talked about Jerusalem basically, so we don't need to dive into this too much more. Do you think this is just a show to justify choosing Jerusalem so that people can say, oh yeah, we held open bids, but Jerusalem won?
I think Jerusalem may well win again. When Netta was picking up her trophy, she was like, oh yeah, we'll see you all in Jerusalem. So it kind of felt that...
Isn't that a famous saying though? It's like a famous saying, next year in Jerusalem. Maybe I'm making that up. I feel like it's a popular phrase as well.
I think Israel would have been more encompassing.
Israel would have been more encompassing, and that's what contestants in the past have said.
And she didn't say that. So I feel like Jerusalem is the preferred choice. And the fact that the mayor of Tel Aviv decided, you know what? I'm not even going to rival the government option. So all this bidding process feels like, okay, we're going to do what we do every year. I mean, like, it was obvious it was going to be Kiev, wasn't it?
It really was.
Lisbon wasn't so obvious.
Interestingly, in the build-up to Kiev, by having the open tender process, you learn about other cities, and you and I were like all about Lviv.
Yeah.
We were like, Odessa looks amazing.
Dnipro.
It's actually a great, from the tourist perspective, it's a great opportunity to get other cities out there. So maybe that's why Eilat is in this mix, because I know it sure as hell is not hosting.
And the beauty of Israel is actually many of these other key cities are within reasonable reach. So if you're going to go out to Eurovision for 2 weeks and then hang on to Pride for another week, because apparently they've moved the Pride dates, haven't they?
Absolutely.
It will be quite good to also seize that opportunity to get out and visit these other cities. And there are others. There's Jericho, there's Galilee, there's Bethlehem. I mean...
Yes, we will be floating on the Dead Sea, giving it life. It'll be amazing. Now quickly, to wrap this up, I just want to read some comments from our Instagram account. That's why I've been sitting here. I wasn't ignoring what you were saying. I was just taking these grabs. Let's quickly read. So these are some of our readers. Arda_02 says, if the host city will be Jerusalem, ESC will be politics contest, so it must be Haifa or Tel Aviv. On this way, ESC stays a music contest. And what does Max Pete say?
I really want Haifa. My uncle lived there for 4 years. I've seen him many years ago, and ESC is a good reason to... Oh, this is so Alexei.
I love
it's
that.
so Alexei.
He's turned into a family reunion. You go. All right. And then we have... Oh gosh, I can't read this. Noah Macmer. Haifa should host the Eurovision. We have a big stadium there called Sami Offer. And then Nora L.O.O. says... Why not Tel Aviv? That's a freaking beautiful place. Ooh, and what does TARDIS say?
Jerusalem hosted 2 Eurovisions already, which is what you said. Other cities in Israel deserve their turn too. You know what? Spread the love.
Spread the love. Let there be light. In any case, those are the 4 cities allegedly, supposedly, reportedly in the running to host Eurovision 2019. Which city do you want to visit next year? Which do you think will be best for the contest? And which do you think would be the best for Israel? Those are, of course, different questions. Let us know here on wiwibloggs.
And be sure to add your comments. No. Let me just do that.
Girl, ain't no reason to edit.
No, edit that. No. And be sure to follow us on social media. And the platforms are Instagram,
Pinterest,
YouTube,
Facebook,
Tumblr.
We'll see you later.
Bye.